experience that you've ever had with guilt that it blows your mind, alters your belief system, and you're changed forever. Another thing, if you have any experience completely, fully, 100% without feeling guilty about it, it can't possibly be addictive. It's impossible to get addicted to something that you feel innocent about and you fully let yourself experience innocently. And it won't even matter to you if you ever do it again. It will be such a complete experience that it won't even matter to you whether you do it anymore. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you really have the most ultimate experience of lovemaking that you've ever had, just beyond anything that this world has to offer, you'll be on, okay, what's next? Right. You go, what's next? I've had that so completely. What's next? What could I experience that would be even better than this? That's where you would go. You wouldn't go, why do you think you're trying to do it so many times? You're trying to get it right. Why do you think you're doing it over and over? You're so, well, I'm doing it over and over again because I really, really like it. No, you're doing it over and over again because you haven't fully experienced it 100% yet. Right. And you know it's something more than what you've been experiencing, and you're hoping you'll finally meet the person that'll give you that complete experience. That's why you're going from person to person to person to person, because you really haven't ever gotten off yet.
Very true.
That's the truth. How many times have you ever ate a meal and it was a fully satisfying meal and you were totally full? They could have put 100 more pieces of cake in front of you and you would have said, no thank you. Because you're full, you're complete. There's nothing missing. So why would you need to anymore? So really I found out that all my trying to get, all my trying to seduce, all my trying to get, all my trying to make happen was because I never really 100% allowed myself to have that experience that I'm trying to have. That's not anything to feel guilty about. It just lets me know that I need to open myself up to having these experiences in an innocent way that I don't feel guilty and I'm not judging myself and I'm not judging anybody else. If I was just actually eat a piece of cake and feel totally innocent about that piece of cake, then I wouldn't have to worry about fighting eating that piece of cake because I think I'm going to gain 5 pounds. I'm gaining 5 pounds because I feel guilty for eating the cake, and the 5 pounds is my punishment for eating it.
God, that is so true.
That's why the 5 pounds came from. It came from you not feeling innocent about eating the freaking piece of cake. So now you got to punish yourself for eating a piece of cake.
Right.
That's why we follow pleasure with pain. I had a good time, and now I feel guilty about it, so now I'm going to have to do something to make it bad. That's where you think hangovers come from. It's the guilt behind what you did last night. So now you got to pay for that pleasure with some form of pain. So a person who feels innocent has an experience, completely feels that experience, they do not attack themselves for that experience, and the experience has no control over them. Can't pull them in one direction or another because it's okay if they do it and okay if they don't. And that's the way it works. That's the easy way.
That's the easy way.
That's the easy way. That's the easy way. Because whatever you do, you can't change eternal love. Whatever you do, you can't change the way God feels about you. Whatever you do, you can't make yourself less than what you were created to be. Can I give myself some pain? Can I give myself some pain? Yes. If I feel guilty about it, yes. But that still doesn't mean that you're guilty. I'm going to say it over and over again. You can make mistakes. You can make mistakes, but you cannot change the innocent being that you truly are in your real self and in your real nature. All the things you're feeling guilty about that you think you've ever done, you did not change your true nature as you were created by love. The person who wants to believe that about themselves will hear that statement and go, wow, I'm really glad to hear that. The person who still believes that guilt is the way to go will feel like that was a statement that was wrong, because I believe I need to feel guilty in order not to do something wrong. So we always choosing between innocence or guilt, love or fear, willingness or resistance. And I'm the one who's siding with your willingness, your innocence, and your joy.
Thank you.
Yes.
Because to believe something just means to side with it. When you say I believe something, you're saying I want to side with that idea. That's all it means. Instead of opposing that idea, I don't even have to know how that idea is going to manifest. Like, you have an unlimited abundance to the point that you never think about money or if you're going to be taken care of ever again. in any way for the rest of your life, is that an appealing thought?
Yeah.
Okay, believing that thought would mean only this. You went, I'm willing to side with that idea. Even if I don't know how that can happen, I'm willing to side with that idea of my abundance.
Yeah.
That's all. You can do that in every area. Am I willing to have a relationship that's more beautiful than anything that I've ever had before? Yes, I'm willing to side with that idea. How do I get that idea to manifest? I put it in the form of a question to spirit in the universe, and I don't try to answer it myself. I put it in the form of a question, and I don't try to answer it myself. I put it in the form of, what would that look like? How can I have an experience of abundance and prosperity beyond anything that I could imagine? Boom.
Wow.
And I believe that I can.
The asking for it is also signifying that you're believing that you can. That's, remember what I was saying about the physical act is a symbolic gesture to show that you have some faith in what you're talking about. So just to ask the question is a symbolic gesture that's showing that you are willing that the universe should answer that for you in an affirmative manner. You know, proactive, you got to get proactive.
Yeah, right.
You know, that's what you
Right.
that's what you have to do.
Ask for it.
Yeah.
So, Earl, when you were saying that, like, sometimes you experience things, and then like when you're satisfied, it won't make a difference if you want to experience it again or not.
Right.
Well, like a little over a year ago, long story short, I was in the second hospital, and I just gotten out of a coma, and I had a tracheotomy in me, and I was on dialysis, and I couldn't move or anything, and I was in a lot of pain. And that night in my hospital room, for lack of a better word, I felt like what I believe was the presence of God, like come into that room, because like that room literally fell away, and it was like, yeah, that room fell away, and I could just feel me and the presence of God and just the serenity and the peace that I felt, and it's like when my life gets crazy now, it's like I long to go back to that, to have that connection. I mean, like, you know, when that connection left, I was kind of like, I was grateful that I had that connection, but I was sad because, you know, I wish.
But that's why we're all sad, brother. We just don't call it. We just don't call it that. In other words, the reason why most people in the world are never satisfied with anything, and as soon as they get something, they want something else. That's really a blessing, because that's our homing beacon. See, if we know in our heart there's something more than anything that we give ourselves in the world, and our dissatisfaction keeps us moving toward what's real. So on one level, dissatisfaction can be used to move you to what's real, and then on the other level, what's real should be appreciated and you feel good about it. So you're either feeling satisfaction or you're moving toward that which gives you satisfaction. Those are only two things that's happening. You're either feeling satisfaction, you might call it dissatisfaction, but dissatisfaction is nothing but, I know I deserve more than what I'm giving myself right now. I know I deserve to feel more than what I'm feeling right now. That's what dissatisfaction is. It keeps us from settling for less than what we deserve. So could you acknowledge yourself here? Whether you agree with it or not, whether you believe it or not, you know, just to let ourselves hear it was a symbolic gesture. Absolutely. So that's not really, in a sense, you're not asking for God's help. See, the universe is not going to help you deceive yourself. The universe is going to help you wake up to who you are. So the minute I come up with something I want, and I think unless I have it that way, then I'm not going to be happy. How can the universe help me? Because if the universe gave me the thing that I thought I had to have in order to be happy, wouldn't the universe be supporting the idea that my happiness was outside myself? Yeah. So the more you attach to any outcome, the more you're going to have to do it on your own, because that which loves you would never convince you that your happiness depended on something outside of you. So the minute I go, if I don't have this person, if I don't have this situation, I can pretty much guarantee that ain't happening, at least from the support of the universe. Because spirit wants me to know that it all comes from my relationship to God and spirit and my relationship within myself. So that's why they say, see the outer as a reflection of the inner, so that therefore, even if you think you're seeking it on the outside, you're also aware that it's only a reflection of what's happening on the inside. So you're still looking within. You're still looking within, it just looks like it's without. Like so if I'm looking at really cool people, I'm going, wow, I must really have some really cool loving thoughts within myself. So I'm looking at the outside, but I'm claiming it's the inside. So I'm not really looking outside of myself. But if I go, I got to have you.